So do you really think you've got time to do this?
Yeah.
Do you really think you've got time to do this and go to the supermarket?
Yeah.
Do you really think you've got time to do this, the supermarket, and a video from the Acropolis? Are you mad? Well, go on then.
Okay, I'm going. Now, there's something I wanted to show you, which I didn't think I'd get a chance to show you in our standard weekly vlogs. So Sarah says, we got to go to the supermarket and we got to go to the Acropolis today. But a short distance from our Airbnb, which is just there, is something pretty impressive, and I wanted to show it to you. And it's this close to where we're staying. I don't think I took my blood pressure tablet today. I should have done that. First of all, just want to apologise to our British viewers out there. That big orange thing in the sky is called the sun. You'll see it one day, it's really nice. Anyway, this is the Panathenaic Stadium. This is impressive. Seats 50,000 people and was first built in 144 AD. It was rebuilt in the 1800s and was actually home to the first ever modern Olympic Games. And this is the only stadium in the world built entirely of marble. So I've got to own up to something before we go any further, and that is what you're seeing is a reconstruction. We made this exact clip the day we went to the Acropolis and the supermarket, and it was only when we got back that night and I started to edit the video I found that this video had corrupted. All this effort and it corrupted. So this is a graphical representation of what happened that day. So you'll see continuity errors. I'm wearing a different shirt. My beard is slightly different length. My hair's grown a little bit. Didn't time it, but that was probably about a minute, wasn't it? To get from our apartment to the Panathenaic Stadium. And in that direction there is the presidential palace of Greece. And also all the embassies, American embassies just up the road. Huge. It's bigger than America, I think. So we're really well located. In a future video, we're going to show you in a bit more detail where we stayed here in Athens. Well, let me get back to Sarah because we are actually making a video today, just not the Acropolis one, and she is having kittens because it's past lunchtime. Don't want to be accused of showboating, but
What are you going to?
I am. We have a spot of lunch behind me. That's the Acropolis up there. It's now 1:15.
It's very late to be going.
It is very late. It's very low sun, but just feel a level of confidence. There's not going to be any people in our way. We'll get in there.
I can see people up there now, so there's definitely going to be, but you're convinced there's not going to be any queues, so we'll try.
They're all up there now. Queues will be gone by the time we get there, so you enjoy your lunch. Have a nice cup of coffee and a gyros. Everything will be fine. Everything will be fine. We're going to the Acropolis, which means Acropolis means city on the hill. There you go.
Which makes perfect sense.
Because it is a city on the hill.
It is a city.
Might be
yeah.
2,500 years old, but it's a city on the hill. So
Perfect.
you're getting all the information here as well. All right, it's a short queue. It's not. There's only 10 people in front of us. I bet sometimes it goes all the way down.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Could be worse.
Could be worse. That just took about 5 minutes.
Hello. Can I have 2 tickets, please? 2 adults.
Yes, 20 euros.
Okay. Lovely. Thank you very much. So that's 20 euros, 10 each, 2 tickets. We're going to see the nice man now, see if we can get in. Hey. Okay. There we go, we are in the Acropolis. So the Acropolis is the hill. I'm assuming that those barriers are relatively new. 2,500 years ago, that wouldn't have been there. So we've walked in here without any guidebooks, because that's not the way we like to travel, is it?
No, we like to just see it for ourselves and wander around, read what we can,
Yeah.
and enjoy it.
Yeah, we like to see it through our own eyes, but we've spent a bit of time online looking at the Acropolis and what we can learn. So here's a few things. Firstly, over 2,000 years old, about 2,500 years old, and Athens is about 15 or 16 miles inland, and down on the coast in that direction is Piraeus. And Piraeus at the time, way back then, was the main port and was probably the biggest port in all of Europe.
Yeah.
And this is where I've been particularly excited about what I've learned thus far about Greece and about Athens. Have you heard this? Because I've heard this a lot. It's not really meant much to me. And that is that Athens was almost the start of the Western civilization. Oh, let's stop for a second.
I walked up that slight incline.
So I've heard that myself, and I've just accepted that, yeah, okay, so Athens was the start of Western civilization. But it's since looking into this, I understand it a bit more.
Yeah.
I'm actually astounded at what Athens used to be 2,500 years ago. They believed in democracy probably more than most Western countries do today. Basically, if you were over the voting age, you could be involved in all of the politics that happened in this area. If you were over the age of 30, you could be part of the inner sanctum, of which I think there was 600 people in that, and 100 from each of the districts of Athens at the time.
And they were all voted by the people.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, Sarah. It was a proper state where everybody had their say, which was really impressive. As we walk around here, you'll see that the whole thing is built from marble. The marble mine from which it all came from is about 15 miles in the opposite direction down there. So the thing that is astounding me, and I think when we get in here and actually see it properly, will blow me away, is how did they get all that marble from down in the marble mine up here? Some of the pieces of marble are over 10 tons in weight, which is pretty incredible.
It's just incredible. Just how do they do it? How do they know how to build? It's just...
And almost all of this was done for religious purposes, and as they wanted to honour their gods, the Greek gods, particularly Athena, the god of Athens and of the people. With the size of pieces of marble and the amount of time it took them to actually excavate the marble, it took years and years and years to build this. Did you know theatre was created in Athens? This is a Greek auditorium, and this is where theatre would happen. And you'll see that as you look around, there are these staircases go between here. I get just amazed that 2,500 years ago there were Grecians walking up and down and taking their seats ready to see the play.
It's just fascinating, isn't it?
It is, but I wonder what they had on. Do you reckon they had Starlight Express?
I think roller skates might be pushing it a bit, but yeah, it would be something like that, wouldn't it?
It would be, yeah, or Les Mis. Would they have had Les Mis? Or Greece? Oh, Greece! That wasn't meant to be a joke,
planned.
but that's the thing. I bet that's what I used to see here. Greece. Oh, Greece in Greece. That's what they did.
Very good, Neil.
No, it wasn't even meant to be a joke, Sarah. But that's what the Grecians used to do. They used to come here and see Greece with John Travolta. He was probably part of it back then as well. He's old and he's getting on a bit, so he's probably a part of it. Here's a to-go Rome top tip for you. Don't visit the Acropolis right after you're in a gyros. Have a gyros afterwards. It can really take it out of you. Right, up to the next level. As we get up to the Parthenon, I just want to talk about philosophy for a minute. So we've all heard of the ancient Greek philosophers, Socrates and the like. But we've learned a bit more about them. And again, this just shows what an advanced civilization this truly was. And that is that they would teach local people. It wasn't just about them sitting in a room having ideas. They actually built their own colleges and schools. to teach local people, and actually some of them charged for it, obviously, but others did it for free. And what the philosophers would teach people would be their basic philosophies that they've developed, but also teach them skills such as oratory and arguing, so that when the young people go into the magistrates or into the parliament, they could argue their cases. When we think back, or certainly when I think back at ancient times, I think about things like people killing each other all the time, or sacrificing each other all the time. And we feel, I think, I'm speaking for us all here, let me speak for me, I feel that when we look back, we paint a picture which is just barbaric. But when you look at ancient Greece, you look back and think 2,500 years ago, these people were learned, intelligent, knew how to construct an argument and to talk. There's a lot of nations, not going to name them, that could do with learning that today. How to have a proper argument and work together. So Sarah, this Acropolis is different to what I expected, but what are your views of what you've seen today and the amazing Parthenon behind you?
It's just amazing, isn't it? It's completely, I didn't know what my expectations were, to be honest, but it's just completely blown anything out of the water I've ever seen. It's gorgeous. It's just to think some of that marble on top of there is 10 tons. How is it still standing? It's just amazing how they did such a thing 2,500 years ago.
This is the Odeon of Herodotus Atticus and was donated to Athens. There are 39 rows of seating and seated 6,000 people. A very, very advanced civilization, if you ask me. So we turn the corner, just come round probably about 20 feet, and in the other direction we got this amazing view. Incredible location. the Acropolis. It's taken us about 2 hours to
Didn't feel like it though, did it? It just flew by.
It absolutely flew by, yeah.
You could spend hours up there, I reckon, reading everything.
Yeah, and I think a tip from me would be to come in the off season, because you can imagine the blistering heat up there would just be out of this world, difficult to deal with. So,
like these steps are when you're trying to film. So what we want to know is, what did you think of our To Go Rome tour report last week?
Yeah, because we're hoping to do this every week, but only if there's enough interest in it. So let us know in the comments what you thought of that. We're still in Athens. We're going to go to the Athenian Riviera. So the question there is, do you need to go to the likes of Santorini or Corfu or anywhere like that to really see the kind of island culture? Or can you do it from Athens? Can you do a one centre holiday, be based in Athens and get down to the coast? You'll see that in a later video. And also, what's the other one we're going to do?
We're going to do a food tour. Really excited about that one. We're doing a lot of research on that as well, so we're sure it's going to be worth watching.
Yeah, so you've been watching To Go Rome. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.